Hey there, happy Thursday. Dr. Serena Starling here, the business psychologist and the author of the How to Hire the Best series, as well as the soon to be released book, The 4-Week Vacation. I wanted to come to you today to talk more about hiring and the hiring challenges that everyone is talking about across the country right now. And one of the things that I have discovered as I have worked with multiple business owners on attracting A players to their team is that what we've been led to believe as business owners, the hiring practices that we should be using, that everyone else is using, we just kind of fall in to using those same hiring practices. Like if we've ever applied for a job ourselves, we know that there was an application, there was an interview process, and then we got selected or we didn't get selected for the job. Well, when we're following those traditional hiring practices, they set us up to mishire 75% of the time. So if you're in a situation where you decide, you know what, I need to hire someone, so I'm going to create a job ad. I'm going to put that ad out there. I'm going to post it on Indeed and any other job board site I can. I'll put it out there in my social. And then I'm going to accept applications. And from those applications, I will make a choice of the people who look the best, the most qualified candidates, and I'll invite them in for an interview. And from those that I interview, I'll look to see who's most qualified, and then I'll make a selection and put someone into the role. If that's how you are hiring, and that's what I mean by traditional hiring practices, those are the practices that set us up to mishire 75% of the time. So that means that 1 out of 4 times you hire, you're going to have success. And 3 out of 4 times you're going to be beating your head against the wall because you feel like, wow, somebody had a great application, they had a great resume, they interviewed well, and now they're in my business and they're driving me crazy. So there's a couple of things that you need to know to set yourself up to hire the best. And the very first thing is to always start with the end in mind. And that means thinking through, what does the A player look like that I want to have on my team? What role am I hiring for? And the one area where business owners really get off track very quickly is we recognize there's lots of things we need help with in the business. And so rather than creating a clearly defined role that we're hiring for, we hire for someone who can do a little bit of social media, who could do a little bit of bookkeeping for us, a little bit of customer service. And before we know it, like, that person is not succeeding anywhere. So really narrow down the role that you're hiring for and think through, if the person in that role can only get one thing done for you in a given day or a given week, what could they do for you that would bring the biggest result? What's the one result you need from them? And think through, knowing that one result, what are the personality characteristics needed to deliver that one result exceptionally well? And that's going to be a piece of what you're hiring for. But you heard me say earlier that traditional hiring practices don't work. And one of the reasons they don't work is because we're not starting with the end in mind. So when we start with the end in mind and we really clearly describe the person we're looking for, we're going to have a much better chance of attracting that person to our team. But the other reason that traditional hiring practices don't work is that they do not align with the psychology of A players. A players are different. A players are not reading Indeed. They're not scrolling Indeed looking for job opportunities. They are likely employed elsewhere. And so the question for you becomes, how do I get in front? How do I position myself as an employer of choice so that the A player that I want sees me as an employer of choice and wants to come to work on my team? So, and this is where, if you think about it, somebody who has a job currently has to get an offer that is highly attractive in some significant ways that would make them leave their current job. Now, I do want to say, as small business owners, because of the great resignation that's going on in the country, like close to 40% at minimum of employees are looking for opportunities elsewhere. So, on the one hand, as business owners, that's scary because we don't want to lose our A players. And I talked in a last Facebook Live about that side of it. On the other hand, we can look at this also as an opportunity, that there are people out there, there are A players employed elsewhere, and they are looking for other opportunities. Now, it's very easy to start going into the mindset, well, I can't afford to pay these inflated wages and salaries to attract these A players. What you need to know is that A players, it's not all about wages and salary. As long as you are paying an appropriate wage and salary for the role, if you can provide other benefits that are appealing to A players, and this is where you really need to understand the psychology of A players. A players want clear opportunities, real opportunities for advancement. There are a lot of them that are frustrated right now because they're working for employers that have disregarded their emotional well-being during COVID. They're working for employers who have disregarded the challenges that they experienced in taking care of kids while they were trying to work from home. They're working for employers who are telling them, you now need to come back into the workplace and there's no more flexibility. You just have to sit at the desk and do the work. And so if you are an employer that's offering support with flexibility and creating arrangements where if people are having trouble with childcare, because childcare is a real issue right now and it's keeping a lot of A players out of the workforce. So if you're an employer who's supporting your team with solving childcare issues so that they can work, you need to be talking about that. And so it's really looking at what is it that the A players value? What do they want most? They want opportunities for advancement. They want flexibility. They want to work in a respectful environment. They want to feel cared about. They want to feel that their contributions are valued. More importantly, they want to be a part of a team and a vision. And they love having big goals, that they are part of a team and hitting and stretching themselves, and the team is stretching themselves going toward that big goal. So you need to have a vision. You need to have a compelling why for what you're doing in your business, and a story that you pull your A players into. So those are some of the ingredients of what it really is going to take in the coming year and years ahead to be an employer of choice that attracts a steady stream of A players to your team. So I want to share that with you. I have all of this is available in my book, How to Hire the Best. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, I really need to just improve on this, I lay out the step-by-step strategy in my book, How to Hire the Best. So you can grab a copy of that. I also want to let you know that we are opening up the How to Hire the Best course again in the middle of October. So if you're struggling with hiring, this is a great time to jump into my How to Hire the Best course. You will get hand-holding from me week to week as you build out your positioning as a great place to work and an employer of choice. And what you end up building in the How to Hire the Best course is your system for attracting A players. So it's a 5-week course, and every week you get move forward action steps that you take, that by the end of the course, you have an actual system that you're going to use over and over in your business, and that you will continue to hone and refine to attract those A players to your team. But the really cool thing is that in this course, when you complete 90% of your move forward action steps, we feature you in the Tap the Potential Great Place to Work Spotlight. That is really cool for you, because then you get our badge that says as featured in the Tap the Potential Great Place to Work Spotlight. And you have something that you can share now in your social media and on your careers page that adds credibility that you are intentionally working towards creating that great place to work and becoming an employer of choice for those A players that you want on your team. So again, that's part of being in our How to Hire the Best course. So take a look. I've got the link at the bottom of the screen. I would love to have you in there. And in the meantime, pick up a copy of How to Hire the Best and really get to work on developing your business so it's a great place to work. Bye for now.